It's known as the City of Towers. Beautiful little shop, pastas and so forth. Some wine, probably archetta balsamic. The purpose of this elegant tourist trap is to strip every dime they can from you. But here is quite an amazing collection of knives. Jesus, you think these things should be illegal in the world? Well, good use can that thing be? Those three deadly little jobbies. Look at the prices of these. 40 euros. Guess who they're appealing to? More quaint little walkways. Particularly if the weather will clear off, it'll be fun to walk through all of these places. Tourist trap or not, it's an interesting place to be. Another intriguing little walkway. Hopefully these will become much more familiar in the next day. Again, you can't take away from this place the beautiful ambiance. Guess I'll go find the toilets right now. Care to guess who this place is for? Tourists. Homemade ice cream. Let's get it in English so they can read it. At least there aren't any tourists here. That's good, at least very few. Maybe it's the rain, plus the winter, plus the economy. So I think this is called Piazza della Cisterna because of the well, which you see in front of you. And, if that's the case, then the Duomo should be one of these buildings in here. Notice the towers. La Cisterna Hotel. So if you look at the map, we are right here. We started down here, walked up to here. There's the well. Okay. And just for kicks, I'm going to walk down Castello, then these stairs, and then along the wall if I can, and see if I can come in to my place from Porta San Jacopo, and then I'll learn about the rest of this route here. Presumably this little arch held some kind of devices, and there's some kind of insignia. I can only imagine how long this has been used. I think the pennies and coins that are thrown in here are taken out periodically and given to the poor. Don't know what the little red balls are for. There's some American money in there, dimes. You notice? I'll take a couple more tourist type hands because it's only 10 o'clock and the tourist buses should arrive within the next half hour or so, if they're going to. That's where you enter into this square from below. The roads here are perfect. Streets, I should say. The difficulty for me in the next 2 days will be able to find places and opportunities that are not solely about tourists. Looking down this street, there's a balcony that suggests it overlooks a little valley that's filled with fog right now. Don't know what this area is in here. Probably not much of a panoramic view today. On the way to the observation point is the toilets to my left, another set of them, good to know. Passeggiata della Mura. I don't know if that means a defensive wall. Hopefully it does. Maybe this is part of it. This may be the best that I get. Isn't that pretty? Almost what you'd think an artist might create to make us feel like this is the sum of this part of Tuscany. And yet this is what you see. Vineyards, olive groves, little strips of trees, old what look like farmhouse complexes, some of which look like they're totally abandoned. Not here, but elsewhere as I've traveled around the last couple days. I just think little niches like that are very interesting. Notice how they've cleverly angled these steps, if you will, of brick, and the brick has a pretty good surface for traction and discovering, which is good. Don't step on the metal, it doesn't. I'm guessing this is part of the defensive wall. There you can see how some of the plumbing runs through when necessary. Don't know what these holes are unless they're just drainage holes for such a wall. And we're doing a little bit of community cleanup work. I think the average tourist sees the perfection of this place and thinks that's probably the ideal. And I look at it and go, nah, a little too much like Walt Disney. I wish it were a little rougher. But I'll take it nevertheless. Imagine living in a little place like this. These steps are even better walking up though, because they give you just a little bit of traction if you step right on the step itself without a great step forward. And you see an older building with the arches all filled in. What that was beforehand would be interesting to know. So I'm at a dead end and I'll back up and go, but look at how elaborate these window protections are. Where I am now must have been an old monastery or church because of this cloister. But now I think it may be something government related. There's a well over there. Interesting, since this is a hilltop city, how they dug their wells. I'm lost already, of course, but here's a pretty view. I'm working my way that way in the hopes that it's where I want to go. It isn't too hard to figure out where I am just by looking up and seeing the towers. I'm guessing those are the towers that surround that main square. There is a hint of blue sky somewhere. Now I think I'm about right where that 5 is, because right behind me is a sign indicating the road that runs in front of me is Via della Romite. So I should be able to find some stairs here in a couple minutes. Okay, what's labeled as stairs may be that walkway there, so let's see if I can find it somewhere over here. Okay, right there at the end of my finger is where Via Capaci and Via dei Romite meet and then go through, I think, a gate, but maybe that road is what the stairs is, but I'm going to go to the right here and see if there's one over here if I can, if it's not private. So here we are next to the wall. I'm going to follow this down in the hopes that it's actually that, what looks like a stairway symbol, but hopefully it just means this walkway along this old defensive wall. Should be well out of the path of tourists. And yes, I know I'm a tourist. Just like at the Inca ruins, you start looking for nuances. I wonder what the wall, what that implication is when the walkway and the wall goes in there. Was there a seat there originally? It looks like just an outcrop of stone.